All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Week 7 League of Legends Match of the Week between two undefeated schools. We got our new school, St. Lawrence Seminary, joining us, and we got the returning Walden third coming at you. Both Division 3 schools, both coming in at a perfect 6-0. So this game does have a lot of implications on the line. Going to go ahead and start to see some of the picks and bans coming out right away here. The Sejuani ban right away from St. Lawrence coming out. That's going to go ahead and target Lord Falner Witt there. That's his #1 played champion there. The Rengar ban coming out for Walden third. That's going to go ahead and go towards Shutdown GG on the side of St. Lawrence Seminary. The Aphelios ban coming out. I'm okay with that. Just in the current meta, I say just get rid of Aphelios because you don't know what she's going to do. And she can have a huge swing on the game. They're also going to go ahead and get rid of the Kate as well on St. Lawrence. That is going to be, I believe it's pronounced Ponda's top ADC. And then for Walden third, we see the Rek'Sai and Vayne bans coming out as well. Rek'Sai is one of the carry junglers, the high pressure junglers, so that makes sense. St. Lawrence Seminary coming out right away, going to go ahead and get rid of pick in the Nautilus. Again, I'm very biased. If you've watched this before, I'm a big fan of Nautilus. Meanwhile, Walden third coming out with the Ornn and Warwick pick. So two big tanks for them. The Ornn has a huge potential in the game. Ornn is going to be able to go ahead and upgrade items for the rest of his team and give them a big advantage within the game. So if Ornn is able to get to, I believe it's 11 and 15, level 11 and 11, 15, that's when he can start to upgrade teammates' items. So that makes a huge swing in the game. St. Lawrence locking in the Zillion and the Diana. So Zillion could go mid, could also look to maybe go support, but you drafted Nautilus, so I can't imagine that's possible. So we see the Diana as well. So we could see a Diana top. We could see a Diana mid. We could see a Diana jungle. Really a good flex pick coming out there. And then the Veigar coming out for Walden third. So I like that pick coming out because Veigar has infinite scaling on the AP damage ratio there. So I really like that. The Kai'Sa ban coming out here for Walden third as we enter the second round. Kai'Sa is Chappuccino's #1 played ADC. So going to go ahead and get that out of there as well, which means Cappuccino plays a lot of Varus as well. So could be looking to try to put them on Varus. The Darius ban coming out is going to go ahead and target Chicken Nooblets, who's not playing today, but that could just be something that they're banning out in order to know that it counters the Ornn pretty well. The Morg ban coming out makes sense to me because that's a pretty hard counter onto the Nautilus. And then St. Lawrence is going to go ahead and ban out the Pike as well. All right, so it looks like St. Lawrence really knew what they wanted to go ahead and pick here. So that is going to be a Diana top with a Zillion mid. Olaf jungle, Draven ADC, and Nautilus down there on the bot side. That's a really good combination. The engage and tankiness of the Nautilus. Meanwhile, while Draven deals all the big damage in the backline. On the counter side here for Walden, they have the Jinx, so that's a heavy scaling ADC. So if she's able to go ahead and get 2 or 3 kills, should be really good off in the bot side there. The Braum as well. I do like the protection that he offers the Jinx. What I'm going to be curious about here is you have 3 tanks. So you have Ornn, Warwick, and Braum, essentially. So that's 3 front lines. And these are your 2 damage dealers. So you're going to need a good knockup from Braum, maybe an Ornn Horn coming in, the Fear coming in from Warwick, drop in the cage for Vigar and just AoE from Vigar, and then Jinx just shredding everybody. On the flip side, a lot of good engage here. Really early game pressure coming out of the Olaf. The zillion bombs, so if you land the 2 bombs on top of each other and stun everybody, if your tanks here group up and you stun them with the zillion, they basically are out of the game for like 2 to 3 seconds, which is going to be plenty of time in order to get to the back line. I would say that's probably going to be the toughest execution for St. Lawrence Seminary, is to be able to go ahead and ensure that they can actually get to the back line. If these 2 can just kite away and deal damage from afar, letting these 2, or these 3, I say, be your front line, I think it's going to be hard. The Nautilus can land the hook. Diana could easily pull them all in. It's just going to be the rest of the damage. So I'll be really curious to see how this matchup goes. As far as the skill set goes, if you're a big fan of solo queue rankings, we do have, or I should say St. Lawrence has had 2 master players on their team. So they really grind the solo ladder there. That's going to be Shut Down GG, who's playing the jungler today, is a master tier player. Chappuccino, who is not playing for St. Lawrence, is also a master level player. Vietnamese Chad came in at Plat last season. And then if we look on the other side here as well, for Walden, a solid gold and silver team, which is, I would say, pretty average for a lot of schools that are participating. I mean, I personally don't have the time in order to just constantly grind up. So, too, as we kind of wait for the spectator delay to go ahead and get in here as well, take a quick peek around the league. Some other undefeated schools here. We do have Wausau West is still undefeated this semester, sitting at 5-0. Should be 6 games recorded, so we are starting to miss some matches, which is really important. Get those matches reported so we can actually seed playoffs come the end of next week. Also undefeated is Stevens Point. In Division 2, West De Pere is still sitting at 5-0, followed closely by Wisconsin Lutheran and McFarland. And then in Division 3 on the other conference, Clinton is coming at 6-0, followed closely by Random Lake at 5-1, which should be pretty good because next week those 2 face off as well, Clinton and Random Lake, in a Week 8 match of the week. So starting to get down to it. I really like how we have smaller conferences this season, so that way everybody plays everyone within their division, or sorry, within their conference. Get all this fun stuff going. All right, so as we go ahead and see, it looks like St. Lawrence going 5-man down mid here. Could be looking for an early level engage, which they have the tool. So they could easily land a Nautilus Q and hook him in. Nautilus is going to go ahead and be spotted out. We see Warwick's going to go ahead and have to use the early flash. Olaf going ham over the wall, uses the flash as well. This is going to be bad news. That's going to be an early kill going over to St. Lawrence. First blood going over to the Diana as well. At that point, Walden just needed to play really passive and just potentially give up the blue buff. It's not worth that trade right now. So we're going to see Diana have a pretty early game lead going over what I assume is up into the top lane, unless we're seeing a zillion top. which I think is kind of interesting, the Zillion top pick, because right now, too, in the pro scene, we do see that Soraka and other, like, support mages are getting a lot of play up in the top. That is a Zillion top. So it's going to be hard for Ornn because Zillion's just going to be able to keep poking. And it looks like Zillion brought Glacial Augment, so he's going to be able to constantly keep slowing Ornn. So I like this pick coming out. It's going to be hard. This is definitely not a matchup that you see on a regular basis. But it's definitely something that I could see starting to get a lot more play. We do see that Zillion's able to go ahead and land one of those bombs. So Zillion's just going to be able to keep poking. So Ornn's not going to be able to do much for engage up in the top. So it's going to be... I'm going to be honest, a relatively boring top lane. The matchup's just going to be really slow. And so we're going to look to see if what TP plays are going to start to come out. Ooh, Jinx going to go ahead and get hooked by that Nautilus Q. Brahm's going to go ahead and be there as well in order to save his ADC. This is going to be another rough early game matchup here. The bulliness coming out. The Nautilus lands another hook. The flash coming out, the flash forward, the heals. Ooh, and it's just not enough there. St. Lawrence Seminary bottom lane just being a big bully down there. Going to go ahead and just keep Jinx and Braum slammed up under tower. Meanwhile, in the top lane, oh, the counter jungle's coming out here from Shutdown GG. Going to go ahead and find Warwick out in the jungle by himself again. And that's going to be tough. So... coming from this situation here, Walden needs to get some vision down and needs to communicate. Needs to keep an eye on where the jungler is. So they know that Olaf is topside, most likely clearing out the Krugs there as well. I don't imagine that Olaf is going to try to tower dive Ornn, but you never know. Meanwhile, here on the bot side, Draven and Nautilus are going to just keep that wave shoved up under lane. Or, sorry, shoved up under turret. And it's going to force Jinx in order to really focus on last hitting these minions here. So Braum can be really passive with those stacks that he's got on the support item. Again, Ornn going in here. Might be able to turn something here up in the top lane. Got a lot of damage down there on the Zillion. So again, a lot of vision here. We need a lot of vision on the side of Walden. Ooh, Diana going to go ahead and dive in here as well. Going to drop the Ignite, get the kill, but that's going to be the shutdown going over to the mid laner there for Walden. So a little bit of gold going back in his pocket there. Nautilus trying to go in here. Braum needs to be careful. You're only going to be able to stop so much there, bud. The exhaust coming down there on the Draven as well. The damage should be coming down here. Oh, I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. Braum is trying to go ahead and get the slows down, but now he's going to go ahead and have to back off. Jinx is in a tough situation here. Oh, here comes the war. We're going to go ahead and get the CC there, but might be able to go ahead. Oh, the flash coming out at perfect time there for the Nautilus in order to stop the CC from Jinx. And that was a good trade down there on the bot side. Unfortunately, neither team gets something over to their advantage. Ornn dodging these horns. Going to go ahead and try to get the shutdown. Oh, come on, minions. Oof, just not enough. Olaf able to go ahead and get out of there with under 20 health. So, this is a great play from Walden. They saw that Olaf is top. He was really low on health. That gives priority over here to the Drake for Warwick. But Diana coming down here, Warwick can go ahead, just keep going, bud. You got the heals, and Jinx and Braum are now going to come down here too. So this is great rotation coming out here from Walden. They knew that Olaf was top. That gave them priority over the dragon in the bot lane. That's a good objective going over to Walden. They may be down in the kills right now, but they're working for those neutral objectives. So good job on the side of Walden in order to get those pushes and recognizing where the counter side of the map is. A lot of early CS advantage, but we expected that on the favor of St. Lawrence here. Diana's looking to go ahead and probably get some deep vision here. There's just only the one chicken left. You don't want that. Again, need to see a little bit more vision coming out. So that way, it looks like Olaf is going to go ahead and keep pressuring quite a bit, which is smart. He's got the early game advantage here. He could easily go ahead and pressure. Warwick's got to be careful here. He is one level down. Olaf could easily try to force him off. Again, so Olaf is just going to keep bullying this Warwick if they don't get some vision in their own jungle. He's going to go ahead here and steal the blue. Warwick elected to go ahead and back. So even despite being down by 2 kills here, Warwick is technically ahead in jungle camps. But he's down a kill. And a kill equates to about 40 CS. We see Olaf waiting for this to go ahead and crash. Oh, be careful. Oh, that's going to go ahead and be a turret dive here. Jinx, there's not much that you're going to go ahead and be able to do. Need to try to get some damage. Going to go ahead and get a kill onto the Draven. So good for the Jinx there, but it may cost them the turret here. I think if Olaf was there in order to help, might have been able to go ahead and rush this turret down even faster, but there's a large wave, so not going to matter. That's going to be first turret going over to St. Lawrence. So I think this is going to be a hard spot now to come back for Walden. Not only do St. Lawrence have the first turret down here, but they're just completely bullying the jungle. Olaf has priority on essentially everything right now. So we do see that Ornn here is able to go ahead and trade into the Zillion pretty well. But the Olaf is just constantly in the jungle here on the red side. And he's just being able to pressure Warwick out. Warwick can't really make any plays here. And Warwick's a jungler that really needs to try to get ahead early so that he can scale. Otherwise, he's just going to have a hard time. He's not able to get the items that he needs. And he's just going to be constantly counter-jungled. So he's not going to be able to get the camps that he needs, which means that he can't make an impact around the map like he really wants. So meanwhile here, we're going to go ahead and see Diana starting to stretch that CS advantage. They're sitting at 4-1. So she's got a full completed item. And we're going to see Olaf coming up top here. Ornn's going to go ahead and try to get away. Gets slowed there by the Zillion. So that's a good pick there. Is able to go ahead and use the flash, but it's not going to be enough here. And that's going to be shut down GG. Getting one on the side of St. Lawrence. So on the Zillion kit here, if you go ahead and use the Time Warp here, his E, it slows down Ornn. And while Zillion's not going to do any of the damage really, is able to go ahead and CC Ornn enough in order to go ahead and make that happen. Meanwhile, again, we see that Nautilus is able to go ahead and get the CC down there, and the Jinx down here on the bot side has the Ignite going, and that's going to be a kill going over to the side of St. Lawrence Seminary as well. So Draven now starting to pick up some momentum. I'm going to go ahead and commend the Nautilus here as well, electing to go ahead and build into a redemption first. Respecting the fact that Draven and the rest of his team can really tower dive really fast and really just needs to be there for heals. So if he's able to go ahead and drop the healing down there on the rest of his team, it allows them to just keep diving under turrets and put the pressure even further on Walden. So Diana sitting at 6-1 now here. Ooh! Vigar gets one back there. Drops the cage. Doesn't interrupt the TP, but is able to go ahead and get one back. So kudos there. Meanwhile, Ornn is up here. So Ornn is now going to be able to go ahead and get at least a plate here. Meanwhile, St. Lawrence eyeing up this mid turret here. I think with one more wave here that they probably should get it. Meanwhile, up in the top here, Ornn is going to be able to almost get one additional turret. Needs to go ahead and slow the Diana. Diana is, well, Diana's a bit of a beefcake right now. She's 6-1 with a completed Baron, or yeah, Nashor's Tooth, right? Yeah, Nashor's Tooth. And that needlessly large rod here. So most likely going to go for, I would guess, a Rabadon's Cap next. Nautilus just hitting those big Qs. Meanwhile, Braum trying to put some damage down here. Gets the CC on the Draven, but that's going to be about it. Needs to be careful here. Vygar's completely out of mana, and there's no cleanse available. So, going to go ahead and have to back here, which is unfortunate because if he backs, that's going to be turret going over to St. Lawrence. So, needs to try to stay just for a minute here. Oh, the Warwick ultimate hits the minions there. Or, sorry, the leap hits the minions. So, not able to go ahead and get the lockdown here. Draven ultimate comes out in order to stop the Vygar back. So, we see 4 members of Walden 3rd here in the mid trying to protect this turret and just keep it alive because, oh, the nice drop down there. The heal coming out. Meanwhile, here comes Olaf on the unstoppable Ragnar. Oh, the Vygar gets a big shutdown there. Drops the R button. Jinx being a little bit too greedy here. Going to go ahead and have to pop the flash. Use the turret. The turret is safe. Meanwhile, Ornn is looking to put a little pressure here. Meanwhile, Diana is stealing the red here. Ornn knows to go ahead and respect that Diana could be there. Meanwhile, Jinx needs to get out of here. She's going to get dove, and there she goes. Zilean drops the ultimate on Diana. Probably doesn't necessarily need it. So again, now that mid turret is down here, St. Lawrence has the 2-0 turret advantage. Our next Drake should be coming up here momentarily. A lot of back and forth action here. St. Lawrence, again, on the front foot here, sitting on a 7K gold lead already. Walden playing pretty aggressive despite being this far down. So, got to be careful here. Vygar is going to be stuck here. We're going to see the Ragnarok coming out here. The unstoppable charge. And that's going to be all she wrote for Vygar there. Unfortunately, didn't have flash up. It's just about to come back online now. So really couldn't get away from Olaf. Again, that comes down to a lot of... we see a lot of control wards now coming out on the side of Walden. But the problem is the control wards are in the inventory and they are not on the map. So it's really hard to keep an eye on where this enemy team is here. Ornn a little bit too aggressive there against Olaf. So if you've ever been in that matchup, just know that Olaf regenerates health and deals more damage the lower HP that he is. So you may think that all of a sudden you're getting an advantage on Olaf, but in reality, you're just beefing him up. He's just able to go ahead and start to deal massive damage once I believe his HP is under 30%. Nautilus trying to go in. This could be a good pick here, but Diana is right around the corner, so Walden has to be careful, has to respect that Diana could be close, who's now sitting at 9-1. She is sitting on a ward, so Walden does know that she is right there. Again, you have to respect this Diana at this point. She's so far ahead, and there's really not much that you're going to be able to do. I mean, Ornn doesn't even have Abyssal Mass completed yet. Here comes the Ornn Horn. Going to go ahead and get the knockup, but unfortunately Diana is down, and she's going to go ahead and heal now because of the Zilean ultimate, and that's going to be 3 kills for 1. St. Lawrence really just running away with this game right now. They got Shelly up here. Shelly's going to be knocking down one of these turrets as well here. St. Lawrence is going to go ahead and open the base up here. The death timer or respawn timers here are low enough that they could be looking to go ahead and try to make a play to end this game. Shelly's got one more charge in her, and that's going to be the first Nexus turret going down at 16 minutes and 30 seconds. So right now, St. Lawrence going to go ahead and reset here. They have a big enough advantage. It's a good size wave that they could easily try to be pushing in right now and looking to go ahead and go for that. But the right play is to go ahead, rotate down to Drake, get that second Drake, which it looks to be a Cloud Drake. So not a super important Drake right now within the meta, but still not bad in order to get that soul. So they're going to go ahead and get 2 Drakes, look for the third in order to get the soul. It's a nice 3-man lockup there. So now Walden just needs to turtle again here and occasionally try to get some of these control wards that they have in their inventory down into the jungle in order to figure out where St. Lawrence is. Whether that's either a control ward or just start to get some additional vision there. There's no sweepers, so there's no reason that you don't have vision in the jungle. Just to make sure, because Diana's easily going to flank you and get a huge counter gank. Looks like for some reason Draven used his ultimate to go top lane. Not going to be super helpful. I'm going to go ahead and say, too, to keep an eye. These are about to expire, but this is a good play here, too, having these wards here in the base, because if they get a good team fight or if they get all of Walden to go down here to the bot lane, they could easily have Zillion TP to the top and push a wave, and then that's going to cause Walden to kind of have to split. So I like those wards up there. Again, meanwhile, Walden really just needs to look to try to go ahead and turtle here. Don't use the ultimate now that the Zillion ult is on the Draven here. Because if you do that, it's just going to go ahead and respawn. Diana looking to go ahead and make the dive in. Gets the dive in. Going to go ahead and get the double kill. Oh, the turret coming in big. Dealing the damage. Orin gets the kill going over. Nautilus hooking in. The turret's trying to deal the damage here, but just not going to be enough damage. The respawn timers are high enough right now that St. Lawrence could look to go ahead and end the game here. They have super minions in the base. They have a Draven that's going to just be able to 3-shot this turret, and that's going to go ahead and be the victory going over to St. Lawrence Seminary. They have the damage here. Instead, they elect to back off, break into the base here. So St. Lawrence sitting on a 14K gold lead, have all the tools to end the game. Really should just reset right now, get their last items, and make this final push. They have 2 inhibitors open. They have a Nexus that's already damaged. They should be looking to end here. In all honesty, there's no point in even going for the bottom turret here. No point in going for the bottom inhibitor either. You have the damage. You have the tools. End the game. You know, this is a prime reason, too, as to why we have our tiebreaker. Instead of being head-to-head, we actually have it set as time. So whichever schools finish their matches the fastest will actually be higher seeded. So You could be 6-1 or 7-1, and the other school's 7-1, but the school that has the fastest match time will actually be the higher seed. Um, because otherwise, you see a lot of the times schools will farm up kills. They'll try to roll up the score, and literally just sit right here in front of the respawn and just keep picking them off, which is pretty unsportsmanlike. So the tiebreaker, instead of going head to head, we do it by fastest time, which is really helpful in order to reward those schools that complete their matches the fastest. No point in dragging out a game. But so again, take a quick peek here at the damage charts. Pretty good job there from the Diana. She was rolling. She got ahead early and didn't take her foot off the pedal. Take a quick peek here at the other stats. This is something that I talk about quite a bit because if you're new to the game or, lower elo, this is the thing that really helped me get out of bronze to silver to gold, is simply playing support and seeing vision. Vision to me is the most important thing, especially at a higher level. Like, I'm not good at necessarily tracking the jungler and where he is or if he's invading, counter jungling, or what camp he's currently at. But at least having vision in certain parts of the map have really helped me, from a macro sense, understand the game a lot better. So if we take a kind of a quick peek here, Diana sitting at 20, Nautilus at 27. So the support should typically always have the highest vision score of any role within the game. Now, if you're playing Lee Sin, that's obviously a little bit different because you ward hop and stuff like that. But this difference in vision score, I would say 90% of the time for head-to-head matches, the team that has the higher vision score comes out victorious because you know where the enemy team is. You know if it's viable for you to flank engage. You know if maybe the enemy team has somebody that's pretty fed. You can pretty much spot where they are. So if you don't know where they are, you don't see them in lane, you play it safe. You need to know where they are. So to me, the thing that helped me get better at League of Legends is the vision itself. And knowing it to get those wards down. If I ever leave base now with 100 gold, that's a control ward. That's more vision on the map. That gives me an advantage, or to know when to play aggressive, know when to play defensive. That singular ward gives me an opportunity to potentially turn the game. So I'll get off my soapbox now. Congratulations to St. Lawrence, going 7-0 here, looking for the perfect season. Walden third falls to 6-1. They are going to be in a commanding second place still within their division. They will finish second in the Void Conference in Division 3. Rocky U coming in at 3-3. So Walden has secured up the second seed in the Void Conference. So congratulations to them. Playoff brackets will be coming out next Friday is our goal. So we need to make sure that all matches have been reported. So if you're watching this and you're from another school, get your matches in. We need those. Playoff brackets will be coming out. I'm actually going to spend about the next 30 minutes coming up with the playoff schedule. We have it made and we will post it in Discord. We'll tweet it out and everything like that. So please make sure that you check Discord and Twitter, and I will post it on the website as well. So otherwise, that's going to be it for me this week. Next week, we do have a match of the week. It is going to be week 8, and I do believe, if I am not mistaken, it is going to be Random Lake against Clinton, I think. Let me double check here. No, it's going to be Cambria Friesland playing against Johnson Creek. So another Division 3 matchup here. So Johnson Creek is sitting at 1-5 and Cambria Friesland at 2-4 in the Void Conference as well. Both of these are brand new schools to our association. If you don't like League of Legends and you prefer Rocket League, we do stream that as well. One of our community members, Juana Keegan, streams to his Twitch channel. You can find a link to that. We do tweet that out. It is available on our Facebook page as well. And next week is going to be the Wisconsin Connection playing against Bigfoot in some Week 8 matchup in Rocket League. So go ahead and tune on over to that channel as well if you're interested in Rocket League. Otherwise, that's going to be it for me tonight, and I will see you all next week for the final week before we enter playoffs.